sórí ìkànnì wa padà ní àṣálẹ́ lórí ètò wa Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé ṣe láfíà ni àtúbára wa ní gbogbo ibi tí a bá wà. Orúkọ tèmi ni OLAYOMI KOIKI, tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fúnra wa ní update lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo tí a ti ń bá bọ̀ láti bí 48 hours ago. Kí la gbọ́, kí la mọ̀, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan? Ṣé wọ́n ti ta Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo ni àbí wọ́n kọ̀ yá wọn lò bí wọ́n ṣe yá Nàìjíríà lò fún 110 years plus tí a fi ń pariwo amalgamation? Tá bá rántí pé contract kan náà ni wọ́n sign pẹ̀lú àwọn òyìnbó tó fi di pé a wà nínú ìdààmú àti làálàá kòókòó ìyẹn lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n kó wa sínú ẹ̀. Eléyìí àìtí yanjú ẹ̀ tán, òun ló ń fa awuyewuye àti ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ tí à ń sọ tí a fi ń béèrè fún Yorùbá nation pé kó lè jáde. Nígbà tá a tún wá gbọ́ pé Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo wa tí ó ti ń bẹ láti káláyé tó dáyé kò sí ní ọwọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá mọ́, wọ́n ti tà fún àwọn ẹ̀yà tí ó jẹ́ àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò tí ó máa dàrẹ́tì Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. Ìyẹn ló wá kan ominú fún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá pé báwo ló ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ gan, àti pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀, kí la mọ̀, kí la gbọ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo tí ó jẹ́ nǹkan bàbá ńlá wa. Ìyẹn ni a máa sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí ní àṣálẹ́ yìí. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bí ẹ ṣe ń wọlé, ẹ gbọ́ wọlé share button kí ẹ dẹ̀ bá wa pé àwọn ará ilé jáde pé lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo òun ni Koikimedia ni ó wá sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Kí ni gómìnà ìyẹn bàbá wa Adeleke, kí ni wọ́n ti sọ sí, àti pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn oríṣiríṣi àwọn èèyàn ni wọ́n ti ń dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ náà. Kódà mo ti láǹfààní àti update bàbá wa ìyẹn Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho lórí ọ̀rọ̀ náà nípa Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo tí ó ti kúrò lọ́wọ́ wa. Wọ́n ní wọ́n tún trademark ẹ̀ gan sef. Kódà wọ́n ní bí gbogbo wa bá fẹ́ lo Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo, a máa kọ́kọ́ kàn sí arákùnrin kan tó ń pè ní Wilson Chibututu, níbi tí ó jẹ́ pé òun ni wọ́n gbé iléeṣẹ́ yẹn lé lọ́wọ́. Òun kódà wọ́n ní bá tún ṣe gbọ́, ó fẹ́ darapọ̀ pé èyí tá a fi ń pè ní Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo àṣekúkú máa pè ní Nigerian Culture Festival. Gbogbo yẹn náà ni a fẹ́ ṣe àlàyé lé lórí láwọn nǹkan kan tí a ti gbọ́ àti nǹkan tí pálásì àti ibi tí ó kù sí. Gbogbo ilé náà ni a máa fi dára wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lórí prógrámù ti tàṣálẹ́ yìí. Mo wá bẹ̀ wá bí ẹ ti ṣe ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, ẹ bá wa gbọ́ wọlé share button. Orúkọ mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ni OLAYOMI KOIKI, tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Mo ń bọ̀, mo ì tí ì dé. Mo ní a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo àti pé kí la mọ̀ gan nípa Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo, nítorí pé bí a ti ṣe ń gbọ́ wọ́n ní kò sí lọ́wọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá mọ́. Kódà wọ́n ní nígbà tí gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ti pe arákùnrin náà ṣe ló ń sọ pé wọ́n ti tà fóun ni, ọwọ́ tòun dẹ̀ ló wà nísìnyí. Bí gbogbo wa bá máa lo Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo, a gbọ́dọ̀ wàá bá òun ká gba àyè lọ́wọ́ òun. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe rí? Àti pé kí ni gómìnà ń sọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo? Mo kí ìyá wa Àṣàkẹ́ TV show pé ẹ ṣọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún ní èní àti ní gbogbo ìgbà. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹjọ́ ọmọ July náà ni mò ń kí sílẹ̀, àti àwọn tí wọ́n ti ṣe kọjá àtàwọn tó ṣẹ̀ máa ṣe ọjọ́ ìbí wọn. Ẹ bá wa kí Àṣàkẹ́ TV show, èní ni ọjọ́ ìbí wọn, pé wá pẹ́ láyé gbogbo ìgbà kí ìgbà tí wọ́n bá ń lò nínú ilé ayé pẹ̀lú àlàáfíà àtẹ̀mí gígùn. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìyá wa, ẹ̀yin bàbá mi, ẹ̀yin ẹ̀gbọ́n yín àbúrò. Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo ó máa wáyé ní on the 29, àmọ́ wọ́n ti tà dànù fún àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò. Òun ni ó manage Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Ó kù díẹ̀ a máa tó wọnú ètò. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń wọlé, ẹ bá wa gbé wọlé share button. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Kí ni wọ́n ṣe? Ṣé proposal ni? Ṣé èèyàn kan ló líǹkì Chibututu Wilson fún àwọn tí wọ́n jọ ṣe ni? Àti pé kí ni ọba mọ̀ sí ọ̀rọ̀ Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo? Kí ni response Governor Adeleke? Gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ni mo máa sọ fún wa ní orí ìkànnì ti alẹ́ yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ilé ìka tó play orin àsíá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Mo kí wa pé ẹ káàbọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí sórí ìkànnì wa tí a mọ̀ sí Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Aboro aboyo to every oníṣẹ̀ṣe out there, home and abroad. So I've come to the realization that it's not possible to go from Osun Osogbo Festival and end up in Kirikiri for one portion of rice. So thanks to Wilson Chibututu and his cohorts, some people have gathered themselves and they call themselves Osogbo Festival, and they have released a public notice that anybody, any influencer, any social media personnel that wants to cover Osogbo Festival 2024 has to take permission from them. I do not understand the capacity they have to make that kind of notice or to make that kind of announcement. But notwithstanding, who are these people? Why will you be a private body and adopt a public name and tell people not to use it? Because in that public notice, you will notice that they wrote that they have copyrighted and trademark the name Osogbo Festival. So what will happen when I go to Osogbo Festival, I make video, of myself and the people there, all the activities. Then I tagged it Osogbo Festival 2024. Oh, I will have to go to Kirikiri too. I beg, please, every Onisheshi, especially our elders, we have to check this public notice and check who these people are. And another important thing is, if we just allow anybody to call any group to gather themselves and they say they have trademarked a public name, what will happen when people now start trademarking the name Ifa, trademarking the name Osun, trademarking the name Obatala? So before we can do Ifa Kiki, we will have to go to them to take permission. No, it's not done that way. You cannot say you have trademarked or copyrighted a public name and say people have to take permission from you before they use the name or anything related to it. From the public notice, you can deduce that it seems that they are seeking cheap publicity. But at the same time, we are not supposed to allow some.
Well, it is not a cheap publicity. Mo kí bàbá wa àwárí ẹ̀sìn ìran ọmọ aládé, ẹ bàbá kí ọmọ yín tó pé ọmọ oṣù mẹ́fà, àdàgbàdògbò á wà lára àwọn ọmọ tí á jẹ nínú ọlá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá nígbà tásìkò náà bá tó. Mo kí bàbá wa Professor Bánjí Akíntóyè, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìyá, mo kí Ṣífù Mámúlẹ̀ Yorùbá, mo kí bàbá Gẹ́gẹ́ Ojú, mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ, mo kí gbogbo àwọn tí àjọ jẹ́ ẹlẹgbẹ́ lórí ìrìn àjò yìí tá à ń pariwo fún ìkéde Yorùbá Nation. Tẹ́ bá rántí pé bó ṣe gbé ọ̀rọ̀ amalgamation délé léyìí táwọn kan sọ̀rọ̀ níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn, ṣé kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n ti sign contract 100 years àbí more fún Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan? Ta ni ká blame? Ta ni ká béèrè ọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀? Gọ́vnà náà wọn ò mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, ó ní kódà ó ní ká lọ sí palace, ká lọ bí wọ́n ní palace. Palace ibo ló ń sọ? Gbogbo ẹ̀ náà la máa sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí ìkànnì wa ní àṣálẹ́, nírọ̀lẹ́, lọ́sàn-án, depending on the time zone where you are. Please sit back and let's enjoy the beautiful broadcast. Before we can dive into the discussion of the day, because lọ́dọ̀ tiwa níbí, it is a lecture room. There is no way you will understand something if you don't have the background knowledge. Kí ló ń pè l'Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo? Not everybody knows. Kódà àìmọye ọmọ Yorùbá míì kò mọ tán pè bẹ́ẹ̀, ó kàn ń gbọ́ sétí ni. So let us first take you through a bit of history about the Osun Osogbo itself, and that way we will have a clear understanding. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ tí ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, ẹ má yẹ ká máa dárúkọ, that will take a bit of time and that might not have enough time because the whole program should be under 2 hours or a little bit less because we have some other things and engagement. À ń pariwo Yorùbá Nation. And the reason why we are calling for Yoruba Nation is also because of some of our culture and some of our who we are, gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Yorùbá. But it seems now that Òyìnbó láròpó ti tà wá. It also looks like maybe there is a miscommunication or maybe there's just something that is not right that we need to ask questions. I might be the question. Ló jẹ́ kí amalgamation lọ for a very long time, even though it has expired. Who sold Osun Osogbo, or who is being given this trademark and a business to manage Osun Osogbo on behalf of Yoruba people? From the information that we have, a company is managing it, and he has also trademarked that Osun Osogbo on behalf of the Yoruba people. The name of the person is known as Wilson Chibututu, from the information that is reaching us on the Koikimedia. Who is Wilson Chibututu, and how did he manage to become the one that is managing Osun Osogbo, one of the most iconic and important Yoruba culture on our behalf? Ṣé àti wá nífẹ̀ẹ́ ara wa débi pé we can just give away our culture to be managed by someone that is not a Yoruba? Or is it because we are in one Nigeria and that will bring unity and peace? Bóyá tó bá gbé fún Wilson Chibututu, that is also the branding, communication, and marketing expert. He is the CEO at our Heritage Branding and Advertisement Limited. So it looks like since there is no Yoruba man or a Yoruba woman that has the same opportunity like Chibututu in the media outlet, Koikimedia has not lobbied for it. Neither did we even know whether there was a message that if anybody is interested, let us all submit a proposal. Who sold Osun Osogbo out, and for what reason and why? That led to not just only being sold out, it has also been trademarked by this individual. Koda, one of our media, Ogbeni Bobby, thank you so much, that called him, he still stands on the fact that he's not saying that public cannot take picture, but people like myself, companies, organizations, if you're going to be going to Osun Osogbo, you will need to communicate with his media organization. If otherwise, I might be penalized for using my own culture, my own tradition, and that could be a legal battle between me and his own organization. The question then is, how did all this happen? What led to it? Was it a network? Was it something that happened between the government of Osun State? But Osun State government have also released a kind of a communique, because there's been a lot of attack back to back on the social media, where it is the only platform that we have today to send message out. I picked up this information only on Friday about late night. As I was ready for my program, we dive into it, we talked about it, but there's now some new development and update. This program will be in English and Yoruba, but for now, I want to start my Twitter space quickly so that we can have more people join us. Who sold Osun Osogbo to be marketed on our behalf, by who? These are questions that need answer, and we need those answers very, very quickly. But like I said, Osun Osogbo Festival is a big festival attended by different people around the world. So my question is, who gave the all clear for this? So we're going to be going into all that, but for now, let me take you back again to a bit of history around this Osun Osogbo. Osun Osogbo is a scared grove along the bank of Osun River. Along the bank of Osun River. Good evening. Please share the program. Very, very important that we get many people to join us so that we can have more people to learn about our own beautiful Osun Osogbo tonight. Osun Osogbo is a scared grove along the banks of Osun River, just outside the city of Osogbo, currently Osun State of Nigeria. But remember, Osun Osogbo has been existent before the creation of Nigeria in 1914, fraudulent amalgamation. The Osun Osogbo Grove is a several centuries old. Nigeria is not up to centuries old. The whole birthday party for Nigeria is 110 years. The Yoruba people have been existing for thousands of years. But the question is, why sell or allow someone that is not from our own side to manage and become the chief consultant of Osun Osogbo on behalf of millions of Yoruba people around the world? Osun Osogbo Grove is a several centuries old. And not just about that, it's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site as of 2005. It's among the last of the scared forest that once adjoined the edges of the most Yoruba cities before extensive urbanization. In recognition of its global significance and cultural value, the scared grove was inscribed as the UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2005. But it seems that these might also be gone out of our hand because one person, somebody must have probably misled somebody, I don't know. But all these we will find out in the course of the program tonight. I want to first go back to UNESCO and give us a background of what they've told us about Osun Osogbo as well. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, and I welcome you into this program tonight. So the link to the UNESCO will be shared to those of you that are watching me live right now, in case you want to reference back to that later as well. I will not be able to mention names. It's a very, very important program, but please sit back and enjoy it because we are discussing something that matters to Yoruba people and Yoruba people at large. And like I said, Dr. Chief Sunday Bowo is also aware of these. Professor Akinto is aware of these, and they'll be giving some feedback to me tomorrow from some of what they are doing from behind the scene. Like I said, this program is going to be in Yoruba and English because most of what I'm going to be reading will be coming as English. So according to the UNESCO, the World Heritage Convention on their website, it states like this: Osun Osogbo Scared Grove. The dense forest of the Osun Scared Grove on the outskirts of the city of Osogbo is one of the last remnants of the primary high forest in southern Nigeria, regarded as the abode of the goddess of fertility, Osun, one of the patent of Yoruba gods that has now been given for someone from the southeast known as Wilson Chibututu to manage. He has even trademarked it so that we might not be able to use it again. For how long, I don't know. But remember, this is how we were locked together with the southeast, the southwest, and the north. And the reason why there's so much friction between every one of us today is because of the fraudulent amalgamation that we are saying we need to de-amalgamate it as quickly as possible. These are one of the reasons why Yoruba people that are still thinking that we are the one making hell of a problem in Nigeria should wake up from their dreams, because you are losing as much as very fast than what you might be able to chew. The Scared Grove, which is now seen as a symbol, or let me take it back one more step. Yoruba God, the landscape of the grove and its meandering river is dotted with centuries and shrines and sculptures and artworks in honor of Osun and other deities. The Scared Grove, which is now seen as a symbol of identity for all Yoruba people, which is probably going out of our hands right now, It's probably the last in Yoruba culture, but it seems that maybe there will be some Igbo culture that will be dotted around it, since Wilson Chibututu is now also proposing to change Osun Osogbo and call it a Nigerian culture. I now understand why the US Embassy traveled to Ilorin and called something that related to Yoruba people Nigerian culture. I'm talking about some of our calabash being built in Ilorin. It seems that almost every Yoruba culture will soon be known as Nigerian culture very, very soon, if care is not taken. Let us also remember that this, from what we are being told from UNESCO tonight, might be the last of what is part of our culture, and that is the reason why it's been classified under the UNESCO in 2005. It testifies to the once widespread practice of establishing scared groves outside all settlements. Once again, a very good morning, good evening, and welcome to many of you that have joined us on this very special update on the Osun Osogbo that we spoke about on Friday, because there have been some latest development that we would like to share with you on our platform. Remember, this platform does not have any relationship or engagement with the bastard zoological weary country called Nigeria. We want to have our independent Yoruba country, and we will do whatever is needed on this platform to educate and enlighten it as much as we can. We will try everything the peaceful means, but I can assure you, if it doesn't go peaceful, we will end up on the M1, and that will be the final stroke of Nigeria. Outstanding universe value, brief synthesis. A century ago, there were many scared grooves in Yoruba land. How most of them become out of our reach or out of us is something that we might start to think of. In Yoruba land, every town had one. What happened to them? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí gbogbo àwọn igbó jìgìjìgì ilẹ̀ Yorùbá today? Many of you cannot even visit some of your beautiful forests for hiking, for weekend, for many activities, because the Fulani terrorists have invaded us and they continue to invade our land. While they are invading the land from the cities, we are also being invaded by many others as well. Most of these groves have now been abandoned. Wọ́n ní gbogbo àwọn ibi igbó yìí. Kódà, most of us cannot go out as we would love to, because our forests that are meant to be preserved for today and the near future of Yorubas that will be born, because as we all sit here, within the next 200 years, most of us will be dead. But Yoruba land will still be in existence, subject to if we protect it today and if you're not a selfish Yoruba individual. Most of these groves have now been abandoned or have shrunk to quite smaller areas because we keep building without preserving these places for the near future. And most importantly, being destroyed by the Chinese and many people that are trying to dip into those forests and cut the trees and take them back to China and preserve them. And while also in Osun State, the gold continued to be digged, and many other places, the petrol, the crude oil in Ondo State, the whole of Ogun State, almost every part of Yoruba land being destroyed, while we are all wasting too much energy fighting on the social media, when we should all be prepared to go back home and deal massively with those bastard Yoruba politicians that are selling us out. The capital, Osun Osogbo, in the heart of Osogbo, the capital of Osun State, founded some 400 years ago. Minus that from Nigeria, Nigeria has not even reached half of what Osun Osogbo has been in terms of over 400 years ago in the southwest, at the distance of about 250 kilometers from Lagos. If you do not die on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Kotode Osun State. If you're lucky to arrive every day from your destination to one destination in that shit or zoological country, you will give praises to whatever God you worship or practice. It's the largest scared grove to have survived, but the survival of it now is going out of our hand because it is now being managed by an Igbo individual, set up a business, how he must manage to, how he was able to get that contract, how he was able to get it, whether he married a Yoruba woman. From what we are hearing, I will be telling you a little bit more, but we're giving you the background of Osun Osogbo before I give you the update from the governor. Who gave it out? Was it the governor? Was it the palace? How? Kilo Shele. Questions that need to be answered swiftly, and they need to take it back from him or whatever that business is. I care less whoever that person is. The dense forest of the Osun Scared Grove is some of the last remnants of the primary high forest in southern Nigeria, because most of our forest is no longer, that is even if we still have forest, because all the forest and anything is managed by the Fulani terrorists, while the one that is going to be for us is now managed by a company known as a branding organization calling himself the root and the culture of whatever nonsense they're calling themselves. If he wants to manage a culture, let him go to their own end of southeast or the north, but not the Osun Osogbo that belongs to us. I care less how he was able to get this contract. Kokinshetie. And for even telling us it has been trademarked. The dense forest of the Osun Scared Grove is some of the last remnants of the primary high forest in southern Nigeria. Through the forest meanders the river Osun, which has the spiritual abode of the river goddess Osun. Set within the forest sanctuary are 40 shrines, sculptures, artworks, erected in honor of Osun and other Yoruba deities, many created in the past 40 years. 2 palaces, 5 scared places, 9 worshiping points stretch along the river banks with designated priests and priestesses. The new art installed in the grove has also differentiated it from other groves. Osogbo is now unique in having a large component of the 20th century sculpture created to reinforce the links between the people and the Yoruba pantheon and the way in which Yoruba towns link their establishment and growth to the spirit of the forest. The restoration of the grove by artists has given the grove a new importance. It has become a scared place for the whole of Yoruba land and a symbol of identity for the wider Yoruba diaspora. The grove is an active religious site, just like you go to Mecca in Saudi Arabia, and just like most of you would travel around the world to Jerusalem. I've even seen Christians going to Jordan. There must be something unique in Jordan, Teshin Losibe. So this is also one of our religious sites that should be managed by Yorubas and not by Igbos. The grove is a very active religious site where daily, weekly, monthly worship takes place. If you go to Mecca right now, people worship Tawaf every blessed day. It is not closed. If you go to Jerusalem, the same thing. And that means that if we have constant electricity, if the place is conducive with hotels surrounding it, with road network, with so much security, that site should be operating 24/7 to accept people that wants to come and worship, just like you do when you go to Mecca and when you go to Jerusalem. But if you go there right now, I bet you there's no electricity, and I'm sure the governor cares less because it's dancing all over the place in Lagos State. In addition, an annual procession festival to reestablish the mystic bonds between the goddess and the people of the town occurs every year, which is coming in the next 6 days. And Koikimedia will not be attending because it is already trademarked, and I might be in problem if I have to go and attend because Mumalati Bayilowo will sing. Procession festival to re-establish the mystic bonds between the goddess and the people of the town occurs every year over 12 days from July to August, and then sustain the living cultural traditions of the Yoruba people. The grove is also a natural herbal pharmacies, very, very important, herbal pharmacies, containing over 400 species of plant, some endemic, of which more than 200 species are known for their medicinal use. But Bill Gates will never want such to overshadow his bastard GMO that he keeps using to destroy Yoruba people. Don't wake up when we have so much research that we should be doing. But since you are making pounds in some of those research centers and your dollar, you are probably pleased with that, and you care less about Osogbo that can also be used for so much research center across Yoruba land and build multi-billion-dollar facilities to give work to our people and protect us from the danger of many of these globalists that would rather want to kill our genes and dilute it with what is known as so much of the GMO today. Criterion. The development of the new skilled artist and the absorption of Susan Wanga, an Australian artist, to Filu Esile. She decided to leave Australia and come and live right inside Osun Osogbo because something must have pushed her when she realized where she actually should be. While most of us are enjoying McDonald's and KFC and Costa Coffee and all over the world, we are probably losing also the Osun Osogbo to Wilson Chibututu and his company. And I can tell you, yes, he's an Igbo man. Does not mean I hate Igbo, but I would rather not want him to be the one holding that because he's not part of our culture and neither do we know him. He can do that in the Southeast. And these are more reasons why we say one Nigeria will keep bringing disunity among us. Let everybody go their separate ways and we can deal with ourselves. But right now, who sold Osun Osogbo out and why? The criterion number 3, the Osun Scared Grove is still the largest and perhaps the only remaining example of a once widespread phenomenon. When the word phenomenon is used, I can give you the English dictionary because so that you can have a better understanding of the word phenomenon. Once again, when we use that word, it is very, very unique and important. Phenomenon. What does it mean? A fact or situation that is observed to exist or happen, especially one whose causes or explanation is in question. Wọ́n ní kò sí ẹ̀dá kan tó mọ bí omi ṣe ń wọnú àgbọn. Phenomenon, an object or aspect known through the sense rather than by thought or intuition. And the meaning again can be say something that exists and can be seen, felt, taste, especially something unusual. When you go to Osun Osogbo, you feel the energy, you can feel the spirit. That is going out of our possession if we do not question why an Igbo man known as Wilson Chibututu was given this to manage on behalf of millions of Yoruba people. And you come here and attack Koikimedia when you should be asking questions. The same reason why we are asking questions around the 1914 fraudulent amalgamation. But because you love Nigeria so much, maybe some of you are worried that big brother that is coming right now is more important than Osun Osogbo. The phenomenon of Osun Osogbo, Osun Scared Grove, is the largest that is used to characterize every Yoruba settlement. It now represents the Yoruba Grove and their reflection of Yoruba cosmology. Susan Wanga, the Australian artist, into the Yoruba community have proved to be a fertile exchange of ideas that revived the scared Osun Grove. The Osun Grove is a tangible expression of the Yoruba divinatory and cosmological system. Some of you don't even know the meaning of that cosmological system. Nonsense, just bear with me. Let's deal with that bomb bastard. I think it's on my Koikimedia. For a few seconds, let's deal with that bastard that is flooding this platform with spam messages. Messages. Let's continue. The Osun Grove is a tangible expression of the Yoruba divinatory. Let's first find again the meaning of divinatory, because some of these things that is important for you to know and understand. The definition of divinatory, the assembly or characteristic of a prophet or prophecies. The same way you appreciate your Islam and Christian, the same way we appreciate Osun Osogbo, the scared groves. The high priest divinatory pronouncement. And also, what are the examples of divinatory? Astrology, horoscope. If you go in the paper every day, the newspaper in the UK has what are called metroscope. Ó jẹ́ kí ìran Yorùbá náà for every blessed day, we come and find messages that reflect to who we are, because every one of us has our own signs. You know yours, I know mine. But because how do we then do that? Every blessed day, Monday to Friday, this paper will come up with Metroscope, Aries, Libra, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Sagittarius, Cancer. All these has different reasons why the world exists, and whatever is going to happen from the spiritual realm will then come down to the physical realm. The Yoruba needs to wake up and get the hell out of Nigeria because it's holding us backwards. Also, the cosmological system. It is an annual festival. It's a living, thriving, and evolving response to the Yoruba beliefs in the bond between the people, their ruler, and the Osun goddess. But today, that is going off our hands because we are sold out people. The British knew us. They lived with us for over 500 years plus. They were taking us as slaves. So they understand us better, and they knew the power within each of those forests or the scared groves and our culture and our belief system. And that is why, if we are not careful, we will continue fighting each other, because it is not just in the eyes alone. It is got to do with so many things that should be given to Osun Osogbo, but they are not giving it to it, because we find out that on Friday that the Osun Osogbo that we know today, according to the information that we went back, that since the 1950s, witnesses the desecration of the Osun Osogbo group. What does that mean? Desecration is the act of depriving something of the scared character or the disrespectful, contemptuous, or destructive treatment of that which is held to scared or only by the group of individuals. The reason why Nigeria is not working today is because it is a deliberate act to keep you all in that abject poverty. And you keep thinking that your political bastard, all these 419 politicians, corrupt politicians, are interested in the citizens. No greed for anybody. Integrity. The property encompasses almost the whole of the scared grove, and certainly all that has been restored over the 40 years before inscription. Some of the recent sculptures are vulnerable to lack of regular maintenance. The more we're in Nigeria, you will not get regular maintenance of that scared grove. We can only pray that we get the hell out of Nigeria and we can secure that place and many other places, just like I visited, I believe that was somewhere around Ekiti with Oloyegbowo, can't remember the name now, Ibiti Ogunwolesi. Very powerful, very spiritual. You get into there, you feel the energy, just like when you feel your energy when you go to Mecca and your own Jerusalem. Certainly, all that has been restored over the 40 years, since there's no regular maintenance, which given the materials, cement, iron, the mud, could lead to potentially difficult and expensive conservation problems. Certain places, Ire Ekiti. The group is also vulnerable to over-visiting and visitor pressure. Even Saudi Arabia controls how many people will come in from each country because they are still trying to protect whatever reason that they want you to know that if you're going to be coming, it is not just because of you, it's because more years to come, generation to generation would like to visit Mecca, to visit the Kaaba. That is why they control the numbers of people coming. And if we can also start doing that, we can preserve Osogbo for many thousand more years to come. The group is very vulnerable to over-visiting and visitor pressure that could erode the equilibrium between the natural aspect and the people necessary to sustain the spiritual qualities of the site. And not necessarily we have to believe everything written here, because we know that there are certain things that can be done from the spiritual perspective, but we can still protect it for many, many years to come, because we're not going to be all alive in another 200 years. So we must do everything now to protect the interest of the Yoruba people first against that country you are calling Nigeria. Authenticity. The authenticity of the grove is related to its value as a scared place. The scared nature of places can only be continually reinforced if the scaredness is widely respected. Over the past 40 years, the new sculpture in the grove have had effect of reinforcing the special qualities of the group and giving it back its spiritual qualities that imbued it with high cultural value. At the same time, the new sculptures are part of a long and continued tradition of sculptures created to reflect Yoruba cosmology, although their form reflects a new stylistic departure. The works were not created to glorify the artist, but rather through their giant size and intimidating shape to reestablish the scaredness of the grove. The new sculptures have achieved their purposes, and the grove now has wider than local significance as a scared place for the Yoruba people. Protection and management requirements. The grove was first declared a national monument in 1965, 5 years after the fraudulent independence given to us by Britain. This original designation was amended and expanded in 1992 after all the creation of criminals from the civilians that were working on top of the military, all this bastard Babangida and the rest of them, and Obasanjo, all this Olori Buruku that do not respect who we are and probably will never do until we pull ourselves out of the messed up country that we find ourselves today. It was expanded in 1992 to protect the entire 75 hectares. The Nigerian Cultural Policy of 1988 states that the state shall preserve as monument old city walls and gates, sites, palaces, shrines, public buildings, promoting buildings of historical significance and monument culture. Under the Land Use Act of 1990, the federal government of Nigeria conferred trustship of the grove to the government of Osun State. And that is why today, even the most very beautiful, iconic Ijebu Wall has been abandoned. And Ijebu Wall is much more better than the Wall of China. The grove had a well-developed management plan covering the period of 2004 to 2009 that was adopted by all stakeholders, and the site enjoys a participatory management system. The federal government administers the site through a site manager of the National Commission for Museums and Monuments as empowered by Decree 76 of 1979. I'm sure you know what that means, Decree 76 or 77. The same decree that has kept you all as poor people today. Osun State government equally contribute to its protection and management through its respective local government. That is, if you have any local government that functions at all. Ministries and parastatals. So what is Adeleke doing? Is it because Adeleke also is from the side of Igbos? He has responded. I'll be telling you that within the next 8 minutes. We are 1 hour into the program. The next 1 hour will be 2 letters. One was an article that was put out, and one was a counter-attack by the Adeleke media regarding that. The community traditional responsibilities and cultural rights are exercised through the Ataoja King and his council, the Osogbo Cultural Heritage Council. I met him during our rally in Osun State, and I can confirm that there are a lot of conversation going on behind the scene that cannot come out with, because from the letter that we're going to be reading from the governor, it seems that the palace is involved and aware of these Chibututu Wilson to manage Osun Osogbo on behalf of all the Yorubas. Lati Palace ni ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ti jáde. I'll tell you a little bit more. Don't go anywhere yet. There are traditional activities that have been used to protect the site from any form of threat, such as traditional laws, myths, taboos, and customs that forbid people from fishing, hunting, and poaching, felling of trees, and farming. The traditional worshippers and devotees maintain the intangible heritage through spiritualism, worship, and symbolism. There is a management committee made up of all cadres of stakeholders that implement policies and actions and activities for the sustainable development of the site. Osun Osogbo Scared Grove is also part of the National Tourism Development Master Plan that was established with the World Tourism Organization, WTO, and the United Nations Development Program. The annual Osun Osogbo Festival will need to be better managed so that the site will no longer suffer from adverse impact of tourism during the festival. Very, very important, and I hope somebody is listening to what we are saying. But they're not going to listen because Adeleke is more interested to be in a hotel every weekend and be dancing with his big stomach rather than protecting the scared grove that end up now to be in the hands of an Igbo person. The grove will also serve as a model of African heritage that preserves the tangible and the intangible values of the Osogbo people in particular and the entire Yoruba people. As a source of pride to them, the grove will remain a living, thriving heritage that has traditionally landmarks, veritable means of transfer of traditional religion and indigenous knowledge system to African people and in the diaspora. So that is the background of the UNESCO adding Osun Osogbo in 2005 as an heritage site that must be protected from the evil hands of many criminals that would like to take advantage and they want to turn it into a business center. Now, since I've given us the background, fáyìn tí ẹ gbọ́ gbogbo tí mò ń sọ látẹ̀ǹkan torí èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì tá à ń sọ, ìtàn ṣàlàyé fún wa ni pé Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo yìí ibi tó ti wà táláyé tó dáyé ni kó tó di pé àwọn òyìnbó lórí burúkú amúnisìn tó dá gbogbo ẹ̀rú, àti pé ó ṣe pàtàkì, ó ṣe kókó pé kí àwa ìran ọmọ Yorùbá ká tún ibẹ̀ ṣe dáadáa, kò ń ṣe torí èní nìkan, torí ọ̀la. Bọ̀ nígbà tó di pé ó ti ń di àtọwọ́dọ́wọ́, kí ló fà á, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀, ìyẹn la fi sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí nísìnyí, torí pé bàbá kan sọ̀rọ̀ síta nígbà tí bóyá gbà táwọn náà rí àbí gbà tó gbọ́, àmọ́ gọ́vnà Adeleke ó ti dá wọn lóhùn padà pé kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ o, ọ̀dọ̀ òun kọ́ ni gbogbo awuyewuye yìí ti wá o. Kódà èyí tó ń jẹ́ kó yé wa ni pé àti pálásì ọba ni wọ́n ti pàṣẹ pé kó gbé Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo kó dẹ̀ trademark ẹ̀ fún Wilson Chibututu. Kódà Wilson Chibututu ní ohun tẹ̀ fẹ́ pé lọ́ṣun Òṣogbo mọ́ torí ìyẹn ọ̀dà, ká pè ní Nigerian culture. So let me first read what came out from this Mr. Bobagunwa Remi Oyeyemi is the one that wrote this. But it seems that Adeleke team are not interested and they've attacked back. So we're going to read this and I'll give you the response from what Adeleke, the dancing senator, oh, he's not more senator, you're dancing governor, always spending every weekend in Lagos with his big stomach. Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo sold out. Èmi ni mo kàn fi yẹn lé lórí because it's been sold out already. Kò sí lọ́wọ́ yín mọ́. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá á kí yín aká àlejò ti gba gbogbo ẹ̀mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. And you see them, educated Yoruba people, come here and be attacking us. Ṣé ìwọ ló fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation fún wa? Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo ló ti gbà mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́ yẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ lọ wá bẹ̀ ṣe máa yanjú ẹ̀. Ẹ tẹ̀ máa dúpẹ́ pé ní mídíà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí nísìn because ariwo ti wá dé ẹ̀ nísìn ló tún jẹ́ kó lọ sókè. And Igboho is working behind the scene and I'll be giving update as soon as it comes back to me. Governor Adeleke súnmọ́ bíbáyìí, dancing governor, always in Lagos State in a hotel. Amontonshele hotel. There's so much project you should be dealing with in Osun State. You don't need to be in Lagos. Why not replicate another hotel in Osun State so that any event in Osun State, rather than spending that money in Lagos? But one need brainless people. So you will move event from Osun State and go and do it in Lagos State. Why not keep that event in? Within 1 year, it should have built a big event center with security network, with road network, because people that wants to come from Lagos will have to travel or walk to get an airport. But brainless people that are managing Yoruba people. Governor Adeleke and the Osun Osogbo scandal, and this will not be the last scandal. How many places have been sold out that most of you think you still have a land? I pity Yoruba people. It is difficult to believe. It sounds very strange. We were shocked on this platform where it changed our mood. One of my mother in Newcastle said she cried and cried and cried. Why? Just like that, our mother that came to Nigeria in 2008 was raped continuously, eventually paid 8 million after 8 days to be released. The daughter promised that even their remnant bodies must never be returned to Nigeria. She said that Yoruba people, pretenders, we know that there's a problem, but rather than talk about it, they will be saying, no, the problem is leadership. The problem of Nigeria is Yoruba people. We need to pull out of that bastard country if we want to succeed. You will not succeed. You will die before 52 years old. Go and find out what killed Shakpara Williams at 59 years old. Shakpara Williams was born in the 18th century, before Nigeria was created. He died a year after Nigeria was created. Bomb bastard. You come here and be talking nonsense. What killed him? Kilo Lepa at 59 years old. Shakpara Williams. Idiot all over the place. It is difficult to believe. It sounds very strange. It was totally out of place. I tried to understand it, but I could not. Just like many of us. We are still in shock. How can Osogbo be given to an Igbo man to manage on our behalf? Why? Láti bó síbo. So, any Yoruba person. So, gbogbo ẹ̀yin Yoruba tẹ́ máa ń wà lórí social media. So you are all stupid, idiot. So, lè rárá. Ẹ̀yin influencer òfò. Ẹ̀yin influencer olè. Ẹ̀yin influencer keep one Nigeria. So, àṣeyọ́tẹ̀lẹ̀. Bí ẹ̀ náà ti gba kickback, because that's what you are all good at. Kickback. Idiot all over the place. Shouting Yoruba nation, instead of them to raise the same voice like us, they are defending Nigeria. And they'll be telling us, we don't know what is the agenda. What is the agenda? What agenda? So Osogbo, is it an agenda? It's a Yoruba thing. We have a Yoruba country, we will preserve it far, far better than the bastard Nigeria that doesn't have any respect for it. But you know, sit down there on the social media, be attacking Igboho, be attacking Babakitoye, and be attacking Koikimedia. Because Koikimedia is coming out and asking that we look into this country and dissolve it quickly. But you are much better than in Nigeria. The Nigeria that will end up killing you, and that has even killed your father and your mother anyway. Because most of your parents died in Nigeria because they couldn't get a good medical health care. They died for malaria. They died for small little illness. They died because they couldn't look after them. That one Nigeria that we've been told to protect and save by the bastard Western that are enjoying Nigeria on our behalf. And that's why most of us want to jack back. I did in 1998, 24 years. You come in, I want to go back. We're tired of living in diaspora. I tried to understand it, but I could not. It is so weird that it beats amusement. I try so much to look for an excuse to rationalize this absurdity. But they are more concerned about whether Seun Kuti or Seun Okinbaloye has been sacked from China. Let them concern us with all that. Let's get Yoruba nation and let everybody focus on the right thing to do. But they will burn their energy on some stupidity. Very soon, in the next couple of weeks, which is next week, as they want to bring protests out, they want to bring people that will be bringing bra and pant only on the screen. The big brother Nigeria. That's what some of you are expecting. And that will divert your real energy that should be used for something to put down Nigeria. But by the time they bring that on the screen with MTN making more money and the South Africa continue to kill as many Nigerians because they believe that we shouldn't be in their country, we have enough to feed ourselves. What are you looking for in their own country? But I could not find one. I found it difficult to fathom, much less believe that Governor Ademola Adeleke, the dancing governor with big stomach, and his cabinet could be this insensitive and careless. Do they care before? Have any one of them cared? Name one of your politicians that cares about you. They are all criminals, bomb bastards, taking advantage because they're giving them the power to be our superior because the Oyibo people told us, we gave you independence. Katrina Lang told you to go and vote. Idiot. You've done the voting. What is the end result? Everybody's now crying out. Didn't I shout here that we don't need any more election? Oh, you thought you could bring Peter Obi in, bomb bastard. What is the difference between Peter Obi and Atiku? All criminal bastard. Olori Buruku. I found it difficult to fathom, much less believe that Governor Ademola Adeleke and his cabinet could be this insensitive and careless. It really beats my imagination. And I am disappointed that a government that has won support could commit this kind of egregious error. The first incentive act by Governor Ademola Adeleke was his interview. They've responded back to this man. I'm going to read that, and then we will start winding down the program. The first insensitive act by Governor Ademola Adeleke was his interview on the BBC, where the language of communication by His Excellency was Igbo language. A governor of a Yoruba state speaking the language that his people do not understand. He did not even try to mix it with some Yoruba language. That reflects a mindset that does not give a damn about what the Yoruba people of Osun State think. I watched the BBC interview from the beginning to the end, and there was not a single statement I could understand. We are all aware that he has an Igbo blood in his veins, courtesy of Lady Nana Esther Adeleke, but we are trusting that the trajectory of his father, Senator Raji Ayola Adeleke, will be instructive and guide him in his years of service as Osun State Governor. Late Isiaka Adetunji Adeleke was here before too. We never had issues of insensitivity or actions that look like a sellout. And now our Osun Osogbo festival is being handed to an Igbo man in Osogbo, a Yoruba city, in Yoruba state, in Yoruba land. This is simply because we have a man we assume is one of us, but sees himself as an Igbo, as a governor with a question mark. What kind of message is this sending to us, Yoruba, that we are stupid for giving him the benefit of doubt, again with a question mark? A purported letter signed by one Onyidamola Olukami under the designation of Media Managed Osun Osogbo, which must have gone through the office of the governor with the Kabiyesi Atauja, being used as a prop, is strengthening the brainstorm and the fire over the control of information regarding Osun Osogbo 2024, something that the state should talk about and manage. You wonder where is the communication or commissioner for media in that state? Bomb bastard, Olori Buruku politician from top to bottom. Criminals all over the place. Though I find the threat toothless because it will not stand a chance in the court of law if I violate. My lawyer has assured me. But the point of concern is that as a Yoruba man whose culture and tradition is being celebrated, I have to go through an Igbo man by the name Wilson Chibututu to get the so-called permission. What an insult to every Yoruba sons and daughters around the world this particular time in our life. What a travesty, what an audacity, what a disrespect. This is Yoruba state. If I must state the obvious, this is Yoruba city, this is Yoruba land, and this is why we are saying Yoruba nation will stop all this nonsense. Very, very distasteful. Into yẹ kó máa pa wá lẹ́kún, òun là ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ lálẹ́. Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo. Wọ́n gbé Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo fọmọ Yíbò. Èmi àwa fẹ́ lọ sán Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo, màá kọ́ lọ gbàyè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Pé mo fẹ́ wá cover Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo, ṣé ẹ fún mi láyè. Àwa máa bèrè question and answer. Tó bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé gọ́vnà ló ń bèrè lọ́wọ́ mi pé Koiki àlè fún ẹ láyè, ìwọ tó ń wá táàkì wa, àwa tẹ̀ understand. Màá kọ́ lọ bá ọmọ Yíbò pé mo fẹ́ wá cover Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo. Our law, we are not going. So as far as I'm concerned, the year 2024 for Osun Osogbo from Koikimedia, we've done it before, 2020, 2021. If you want as well, you send people there and let them give you live coverage from Osun State. Unbelievable. This is a Yoruba state. If I must state the obvious, this is a Yoruba city. This is a Yoruba land. And this is Yoruba tradition and culture we are discussing here. I don't have any issues with the Igbos. I've always said, let them go. And I will continue to support that. But the fact that an Igbo person will manage Osun Osogbo, I will not accept and tolerate that nonsense. Totally disrespectful. But she fault money, you will find out who actually gave it out in the communique of the governor of Osun State that I'm going to read after this. I will not say because I have so many friends in this government, and I will. So this person is also friend to the government. I will refuse to tell them the truth. No be my car, but make I just check. That stopped. Because if you continue like that, I will call the police, and within 8 minutes, they will arrive here. I am not in Nigeria, okay? If that was going on and that doesn't stop, I will just call the police that there's a car that is making noise, and they'll come down and check it. 8 minutes. The police is not far from me. Can you do the same thing in Nigeria? At exactly 1 a.m., without your smartphone, can you call the police in the time of the hour right now and say there's a problem and they will come? Or they will tell you, crazy country. And you want us to remain in that messed up country as if your governors are not giving security budget. I told them, fund our Olode. They know how to deal with the criminals that are in the forest by this time of the night. When we were saying that Igboho said we should release a statement, the bastard Seyi Makinde is telling me to shut up. Seyi Makinde, you're a bomb bastard. Can you go to the forest now and deal with the criminals that are kidnapping people? Can people travel from Ibadan right now, making their way to Osun State? So we are saying that we are clearing out the criminals that are terrorizing us in Okeogun. You are telling Igboho to shut up. Bomb bastard. Is that not the same way you allow Fulani bastard Buhari to come and kill Igboho? But unfortunately, the gods of Yoruba land protected and guided him. But there are some criminals as well, you know. Maybe they want to take something out of the car, especially if you're gullible to leave your valuable in the car. You'll be so stupid. The police will tell you not to do so. Some people do. So, where are we? It is disrespectful. I think we read that already. All right, let's just start from here. It is disrespectful. It is insulting. It is insensitive, and it is uncalled for. It is contemptuous, very discautious, and egregious impenitence is daring. This act could be characterized as, what are you going to do about it? That's what they're telling every Yoruba people. The only thing we can do now is just to come out. And we hope they will revoke that license tomorrow morning. That is what they can do for us. And let the state manage it. But not go at the back again and tell that Chibuzo to go and register another Yoruba name and then start calling money, because we know what they can do. What they can do right now, tomorrow morning, is for the governor to come out quickly and dissolve whatever the country, because we don't even know how long they've given it for. Maybe 100 years. Just as we are dealing with a problem right now, we're not bringing anybody in. Nobody's going to come in. I'm not allowing anybody to speak right now. It's too late. And I'm just trying to manage and control my audio because my family is sleeping, since I do not have my own permanent studio. So we will not bring anybody in. I'm so sorry. We might deal with that again tomorrow. It is disrespectful. It is insulting. It is insensitive. It is my hope that the unwise letter will be withdrawn and a public apology offered to the state. Which citizen of Osun State? Is it only Osun State that we're talking? They must apologize to every Yorubas around the world for that nonsense press release that we must go and take permission before we come and cover Osogbo. What the hell? And that does not stop my relationship with the Biafra. That is a complete different thing entirely. Because I know some of you will come and tell me, I remain firm that the Biafra should be given access to go out of Nigeria. What we are dealing with right now is what the stupid governor, the dancing governor, should have dealt with. But we know that it's from Igbo side. Bia Davido will negotiate any, I don't even know. Just sold everyone out. Governor Ademola Adeleke was elected to serve Osun State indigents, not to give our resources to outsiders when our people are in search of same, and not to speak the language we do not understand. This a line that could not, would not, should not, must not be crossed. Our people do not like it. It is a friendly advice. Thank you. Boba Gunwa Remi Oyeyemi. Lies never last. History never dies, and the truth is always constant. Now, I've read that to you. It seems Adeleke is shooting in his pants. Mr. Deji Akimbode, don't come here and disrespect the Biafra, okay? I hope it was a mistake that you said it's Biafra fraud. Imagine if they say Yoruba fraud, that we're asking for a Yoruba country and it's a fraud. I can be talking about this, doesn't mean you come and disrespect the Biafra on this platform. I will not allow and give room to that nonsense. And I hope it's just a mistake. And it's not a compulsory that you stay on my platform, okay? Anybody, and I don't trust anybody. Because anybody, I only trust my wife and my inner carcass family, which is my mom. So, and I hope that was just a mistake. Not a mistake. Bomb bastard. For you to say it's not a mistake. Olori buruko mo Yoruba. Bomb bastard. I want to be on Nigeria. We'll take you out of the platform. I've said what I have to say. Let the Biafra go. If not, till the end of eternity. And they will control Lagos, whether you like it or not. And you bomb bastard. Instead of us to let them go so that we can secure Lagos, we can secure Yoruba land. Remaining one Nigeria, the Biafra will continue, or the Igbos will continue to dominate you. And you're Lushi. Bomb bastard. Benny, why should, you're right, Go Diamond, why should any same person be blaming Biafra? She Biafra, any going to follow Biafra. We're talking about a bastard governor that gave this out to an Igbo. That person might not even believe in Biafra. Or believe in Biafra, don't convert to Yoruba culture in Nigeria. Do you think all the Igbos agree with Biafra agitation or Biafra separation from Nigeria? Go and see all the bastard Peter Obi children to come and destroy Lagos and take over all Yoruba land because Peter Obi would never, look at me very well, will never, Kakaki Peter Obi the president, we will take everything down completely. One bastard. Peter Obi will never be the Nigerian president. Bola Tinubu will be the last president of that bastard country. It's just a matter of time. Say that they play. Yes, that they play. Protester, come out. Fight for your rights. Idiots. Yes, we need to talk about it. What has that got to do with Biafra? That's the reason why we're saying let everybody go. We cannot be one. Go possible. Can I take control of the Stone Age? Can the English people give me the Stone Age to manage on their behalf as a Yoruba man because I have paper in this country or because I have British passport? Would they ever give me their heritage site to manage as their media because I did London? Stupid people will just come and be writing nonsense here. Lori Buruku. Oh, on Nigeria. Bomb bastard. So let's go and listen to what the response that is coming back from the governor. The governor is not happy with that article that I read right now with some kind of analysis around it. I read the governor's because I was surprised that, I remember I was having a conversation before I came on air and I was saying that has there been a press statement from the government of Osun State? And I went to the X, which is the Twitter handle, to find out. I didn't see anything, but all I saw was there's a problem in Nigeria. Something like this that you can see what I've been telling you. Island, an asylum seeker camp of Somalia males. There are about 2,468 Somalia currently applying for asylum in Ireland. According to this guy I've been telling you, Michael Curfey says, and I quote, that they will make sure that within the next 10 years, they will take everybody out of Ireland. If you like, get Irish passport, they will take you out. How they're going to do that, I don't know. So they are very, very bitter, even though they forgot that some of their forefathers created the mess, while most of us are running all over the place today, finding a place to be. We will protect the Biafra on this platform because I know they will rather not even be happy that an Igbo man is given. Only a stupid Biafra will come and say, oh, it is nice that the Igbo man is managing our culture. I will still give them my support on this platform. And I don't want any Yoruba people to attack them. The Igbos that want to attack us, we will attack them. But lórí pé a fẹ́ lọ lórí self-determination tí gbogbo àjọjọ àfi tí bá gbọ́ pé Simon Ekpa ṣe self-determination mọ́. But for the fact that they're still saying self-determination, President Bola Tinubu allow everybody to go their separate ways. It's as simple as that. Kò mú jà dání. And we can never agree. And don't come and tell me nonsense. I have family that are fully married, intermarried. Just like you, they marry Oyibo people. Just like you, they marry Pakistan, India. Everybody has where they find their love. That is intermarriage. It doesn't mean anything. So let's go and listen to what the Governor Adeleke media team responded to that man. I don't know who that man is, but it looks like that man is a very popular man, because maybe if it was me, they don't go respond, but they responded back to the man. This is how their own response came. I went to their page. I was expecting to see a proper statement from the governor to say, make una no vessel, hey, this was a mistake, or just cook some lie. We are looking into it. They are more concerned about the attack on the governor, as if the governor will be there forever. After 8 years, dancing senator, he go, another one will come. But we don't pray that another one come. By that time, we don't want any more Nigeria, so that we can go and deal with ourselves internally. This now came from, this person says, Osogbo clarifications for Bobagunwa Oyeyemi by Olawale Rasheed. This is all I saw. So this looks like, you know what they're doing in that messed up country? Rather than the governor releasing a statement that I can read and say, this is coming from the press statement from the governor. No, they just write the media, because they chop under the governor. Because I don't think Adeleke knows what is even going on. He's dancing all over the place, going to weddings, Saraki, burial ceremony, wedding, birthday party. The video just finished his own, another one is coming. That is what they're more concerned. But because they have the people where they chop under them, all these criminal Yoruba people where they work as SA media. So that one will probably write something and give it to one small, because the person that gave it to 288 followers, and the name of the company is called Osun Light Media. So only Osun Light Media has this. I don't know whether there's other media. Let's go and Google it and see. Maybe they've given it to Punch newspaper. So far, you can see Punch is not talking about it. This day, Arise News. So they just give it to one of their small media. You know, those ones that are lobbying. That's what they want me to come and be doing as well. Lobby under this bastard politicians so that they can control us. So nothing coming from the Punch, no Sahara reporter. So they just gave it up. But this is coming from somebody within the Governor Adeleke media team. So let's read through. So they are responding back to the one I read earlier so that Kole clarify. Osogbo and clarification for Bobagunwa Oyeyemi by Olawale Rasheed. Whoever Olawale Rasheed is just one that is looking for favor from dancing senator. Our highly respected senior colleague, Bobagunwa Remi Oyeyemi, just penned an article that indirects the governance of Osun State. This little piece would have been necessary because Bobagunwa's piece is already in the public domain. So now, because Bobagunwa is saying, what happened? How did you give Osogbo to Western Chibututu, an Igbo indigene, to manage a Yoruba culture on our behalf? Instead of them to tackle that before, because I'm sure they must have been hearing that, because I saw it on Friday. I don't know when Bobagunwa wrote his own article and penned that, but the governor should have responded quickly by Saturday morning. But the governor is busy in Lagos, a hotel, dancing all over the place with his big stomach. The post by our tested media chief identify now, this is coming from their media chief. So definitely this one I'm reading now is coming from the media team of Governor Adeleke. Show you in continue so itakale nkonye kó lè kele get understanding it. Bobagunwa kọ lẹ́tà jáde pé Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo kò jẹ́ kó rí báyìí. Governor media team wọ́n fi wá dá lóhùn pé kò bá má rí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ìwọ ará lé ò bá pè wá náà, because that's what they like. Koiki, you should have called us now and verify. Bastard all over the place. Kill and verify. Thank you so much, everyone that is with me tonight. It's not going to be long. After this, I will wind down. Even if I don't sleep, I can just sit there and be doing some other things. But appreciation to many of you that have taken your time to join again tonight. The post by our tested media chief identified two examples, namely an interview by the governor in Igbo language granted the BBC Igbo service. The second one was a letter on trademark issues concerning the coverage of the upcoming Osun Osogbo Festival 2024 from a consultant, which is an Igbo of origin. So let's make sure we are specifying that, because more purpose of a joke. But that was engaged by the Palace of Atauja of Osogbo. So I want us to keep an open heart to that. So now, Kikosharishi, wider explanation. The media chief is saying, look, we're going to talk about two things. First, Governor Adeleke was accused of having or granting an interview in Igbo language in a Yoruba state. They're going to talk about that. They are also going to talk about the trademark issues of the Osun Osogbo Festival that has been given to Wilson Chibututu, an Igbo individual, to manage, and also has been trademarked. But the media guy is now saying that that one, they inside our hand. It is coming from the Palace of Atauja of Osogbo. I met the king in 2021 during our rally to Osun State. But like I said, there's some work going behind the scene to get some kind of clarification. As soon as I have that clarification coming into my hand, I will come back out and I'll be explaining what Oba is saying. So for now, I am not here to attack the royal institution, but we are just talking about it based on what the media of Governor of Adeleke is saying, that Palace Oba ni gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ trademark àti Chibututu àti kò Chibututu, àwọn ni wọ́n wà in charge of Osun Osogbo. That means pé Palace ló gbé contract yẹn lé Chibututu lọ́wọ́. Bí ṣe lè ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ tó lè yé yín nìyẹn. Àfi tí Palace bá wá jáde tó deny yẹn. But like I said, confirmation of that would be on my desk latest tomorrow by this time, because iṣẹ́ ti ń lọ lórí yẹn. So kábíyèsí máa sọ fún Koiki pé àwọn ọmọ kankan nípẹ̀ àbáwọn ọmọ nípẹ̀ àmọ́ wọ́n deceive àwọn ni. I don't know what they're going to say, but I'm going to give us update on that, okay? Now, let's go further. In both cases, the writer, in a very strong language, insulated disrespect of Yoruba culture and the people by the state governor. With all due respect, it appears our old boss, so it looks like this person that is coming back is, it looks like it's known within the government as well. There they were the APC that left. I don't know, because I don't know who that man is. With all due respect, it appears our old boss did not dig deeper into the matter well to get the total picture before rushing to conclusions. The hasty installation of Igboization was built on false narratives and a misunderstanding of the mandate order with respect to Osun Osogbo. A phone call. No, I've gone. Yeah, I'm still okay. Yeah. A phone call to friends of Baba Gua in government will have shed more light on the matter and ensured informed commentary. Let me start with the Igbo interview on the BBC by Governor Ademola Adeleke that had granted several interviews on the BBC Yoruba. He has talked to several media platforms in Yoruba language, including key radio stations in Osun State. How Bogbagunwa did not listen to any of those interviews except the Igbo interview is puzzling. Is there a crime for the Governor Ademola Adeleke, whose mother is Igbo, granting an interview to Igbo BBC service? Let me first tell you about those, whether not Igbo BBC, Yoruba BBC, Hausa BBC. These are the crime that the West are doing to manipulate our mind. So not until you listen to BBC Yoruba before you feel comfortable. But you, the diaspora, are the one paying for that service. But if I tell you give Koiki money now, no, this guy, they ask for money too much. But your TV license is giving access to Igbo and Yoruba and Hausa and Pidgin BBC in Nigeria. BBC is all over the world, and it's another manipulative platform to divert the real attention of the real problems in each of those countries. Koikimedia is an independent platform. So they will put my account details out. Just try to put whatever you can in there, just as you contribute towards the BBC in Nigeria. You get that? Get it? Our last one will BBC. The BBC, where they do interview, after that interview, they go give envelope to that journalist to say thank you for interviewing us. You think I don't know how these things work in Nigeria? So let's go back to the discussion. So, is there a crime for a state governor, Ademola Adeleke, whose mother is Igbo, granting an interview to Igbo BBC service with a question mark? What was he saying in the interview? Question mark. Mr. Governor Ademola Adeleke was narrating what he met on ground and how he's delivering good governance in Osun State, but by BBC Igbo. Is that wrong? Question mark. Don't we have Igbo voters in Osun State? Question mark. Don't we have Osun indigenes across Igbo land? Question mark. Considering Bobagunwa's cosmopolitan outlook, it was evidently wrong on this note. On the allegation that an Igbo media consultant was engaged to handle the Osun Osogbo event, this is where I want us to listen carefully. And we are sitting here not attacking the institution and the royal institution of our palace. But like I said, communication between Koikimedia and the palace will come back by tomorrow, if not the day after, because communication has gone to the palace and I'll be giving updates back on that. On the allegation that an Igbo media consultant was engaged to handle the Osun Osogbo event, certain clarifications are pertinent here. First, the Osun State government is not the organizer of Osun Osogbo. Unbelievable. Wow. Interesting time ahead. And that is coming from the palace of Atauja, is the custodian. Mr. Oyeyemi can reconfirm this reality. I'm also doing the same thing, and I'll be getting feedback from the palace, like I said. Much more important is the content of the letter in question. If the organizer of an event has trademark and copyright content as the palace of Atauja has done, the best the government can do is to intervene where necessary to ensure free media, free speech, observance of fundamental rights of the citizen if such are infringing or likely to tamper with. And the account details is being put out for the benefit of those of you that wants to touch this platform tonight with your contribution. We remember that we can go far better and continue to be independent. Thank you so much for all those contributions that are coming in. Please remember, it is voluntary. We have an account in Nigeria. I have a PayPal, musakalam1@yahoo.com. I have a UK registered account, which is my company name, because I pay tax to the UK government. I am not your blogger. I am not Linda Ikeji. I am not Tunde Ednot. I am Koikimedia registered, pay tax to the UK government, and asking for donation or money online is ethical. I am not the CNN because Globalcom, Adenuga, continue to use money from Nigeria to fund his advertisement on the CNN with dollars. I don't do advert here. It is a straight talk with nobody to stop what I say here. Whatever I say, it is the way it is. With no jaga jaga. You come here, we attack you. If you stay nice, we leave you like that. Don't come and defend Nigeria. Nigeria is dead, like the Titanic. So thank you so much for as many of you that continue to support this platform, and every donation we appreciate. Much more. So they are making it look like this is not a big deal. Oh, they've copyrighted, they've trademarked it. Do you know the meaning of trademark? One trademarking Osun Osogbo on behalf of Yoruba people. If you know the meaning of trademark, if you know the meaning of copyright, how can an Igbo media man, consultant, Chibututu Williams, or whatever it's called, went and trademarked Osun Osogbo, and we have Yoruba people? We are not upset about it. So the BB Nigeria will come now. They'll do hashtag who is going to win, because they can see bra and they can see pants, and that is the one that they are excited about. I know everybody has something that excites them, but this one, Fungbogbomo Yoruba, priority for the next couple of days, asking them to withdraw whatever agreement should be cancelled ASAP. But like I said, I am waiting for the palace to clarify certain things for me before I come back again and see why did the palace give an Igbo consultant or Osogbo to be trademarked and managed on our behalf. She governor aware, or is it because Adeleke is Igbo as well? Okomojukuro. Who and who negotiated this? A whole lot of questions that Yoruba people wants to know. Much more important is the content of the letter in question. If the organizer of an event has trademark, can you imagine that? If the organizer of the event has trademark Osun Osogbo on our behalf, and 2 hours is the program. I can assure you we've done 1 hour, 38 minutes. It's not going to go. I'm not going to take calls, but tomorrow we'll open the phone line because we're coming back on this particular topic again. So it seems that the palace of Ataoja has done this, and the government is saying all they can do now is intervene where necessary to ensure free media. Is it about free media we're talking about? Free speech. Who's talking about free speech? Observance of fundamental rights of the citizen. If such are infringing or likely to be tampered, it has been tampered all day. What means it has been tampered with. The Minister of Culture and Tourism is due to make a statement on the matter. You can imagine. They are now making a statement. It is not too late, but this is a disaster and a disrespectful to every sons and daughters of Yoruba, regardless of whether you still want Nigeria or you want Yoruba nation, or you are not just too sure what you want, because some of you don't even know what you want. 16 years old in this country are already making decisions that they know how to drive, they know what to do, but you, 40 years old, here Yoruba nation last fesha, or we want Nigeria. Tinubu will complete his tenure. Most of you will cry because he's a weak element. He's not going to offer you what your expectations are. Just make sure you work hard, but the economy will continue to bite you as the inflation continues to go up and it's not going down. And your naira is becoming tissue paper. Thank you so much for the super chat. I didn't see it. Hello from Alowo. We like money on this platform. So we appreciate people when they give us super chat. There's only super chat on the backup YouTube channel. You will not find it on the Koikimedia because that has been removed over a year ago. So let me quickly appreciate that super chat that is coming. So if you want to know the YouTube backup channel, it's WD76 Media. So we appreciate that. I believe that will be my brother from Miami. Thanks so much for the super chat. So we're almost completing, and then I'll just do small analysis because in 20 minutes, this program comes to an end. Thank you so much. We have a good numbers of people watching on Twitter. It looks like Yoruba people are more concerned, even though we might not agree. But on this one, maybe we go agree. And I'm not here to attack. Happy birthday once again to our mother, Asake TV show, Eshegoni. Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo náà la ṣe ń sọ. Wọ́n ní láti Palace Ọba ni wọ́n ti give instruction pé kí Wilson kó lọ bá wa manage Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo. That's what we are discussing because there's a communique coming from Governor of Osun State, but also the Ministry of Culture and Tourism is due to make a statement on this matter, and I hope that statement should be out already on Monday. But since the governor know they Osun State, they don't know what to write because he needs to endorse it. All just madness. That statement should have come out today, and we should be reading that. But rather, Ashiwa Nibitawa. So about Kia Shake TV show and on job, and happy birthday to everyone in the month of July and everybody celebrating in the past and those celebrating in the month of August. I, however, find it strange that Mr. Oyeyemi could level such a strong allegation without seeking or knowing the full truth. He crafted his pieces as an accuser and judged without any pretense for fair trial. The only Igbo man serving as advisor in the state government was born and bred here at Osogbo with thriving businesses employing many families. He's not even a cabinet member. So already we are getting information that there's an Igbo person that is in the government of Adeleke as well. There's no basis or justification for the false flag of Igbolization raised by Mr. Oyeyemi. The 2-point mention are simply twisted to portray alleged favoritism for Igbo people where there is none. In the case of Mr. Governor, he is too urban, open-minded, nationalistic, like Obasanjo. His Yorubaness is not worth it. His Nigerianness is worth it. One king that yawa ni platform Ikeji oni happy birthday from Ashake TV. Very strong woman, always there, doing his own analysis, and we appreciate all our mothers that are always with us throughout this particular difficult time that Yoruba are facing in this country known as Nigeria. I'll try and appreciate many of you in the last 10 minutes before we go. In the case of Mr. Governor, he's open-minded, he's a nationalistic, he's detribalized to engage in such favorability. Baba Gua himself can testify to that. This is coming from Malam Olawale Rashid, special advisor to Governor Adeleke, right from Osogbo. So that is the updates that we want to give out regarding the Osogbo. At the beginning of the first hour, you will learn about Osogbo. It's also under the UNESCO. So we appreciate as many of you that have joined us. Let's quickly just give kudos to those of you that have joined us on the Twitter space. I know Aisha was sending a request. We will not bring anybody in, like I said, but tomorrow, God willing, inshallah, I will be able to do a bit of opening as well. We're not here to attack the Biafra, neither am I attacking the Igbo, but I do not want an Igbo person to manage Osun Òṣogbo on behalf of the Yoruba people. It's as simple as that. Muki Akede, thanks so much. Obiora, thank you so much. Omo Ola, Olabisi Oswo, I think about 4 of you join us. Idris, thank you so much. Iyawa Boluwati Fe Oluwaferami Abiola, thank you so much. He says, Oreyeye Osun Odo. All Stars Yoruba TV, thank you so much. Dash Mayor, Iyawa Titilola Shaw, Grandma Leah Jai say, welcome back, White Lion. We thought you were not coming out again. Like you always say, I do not give when I'm coming out. But sometimes I might and sometimes I might not. But this was a very, very pertinent, important discussion. I didn't want to leave it till tomorrow. And that's the reason why we came out to share and talk about it. Adams Olamilekoni, who is after Yoruba spiritual heritage? A very good question there. Alex All Stars Yoruba TV say, continue waxing stronger. Keke Oku say, it is utter nonsense and betrayal of the Yoruba identity. Shout out to many of you on the Instagram. It's a full platform tonight. We appreciate it. Bishop Additional will be telling us more about this tomorrow. Otin Rubuni Lewa Olakunle, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Aziz Badeshere, Miami, good evening to you, my beautiful mother that has just come back from Benin Republic. Bob Sapp, you say, hello from UK. Can I ask you a question from the UK? I don't know what question you wanted to ask. You should have asked it, and I'll decide whether to answer or not. We do not allow you to disrespect the Biafra. If they like, let them disrespect us, but let us not disrespect them. It is nothing to do with them. It has to do with somebody from the palace. Maybe they mislead our king, or I don't know, but that will be clarified. Mokibabami Waris Jinodo Ekunawo, the danger of the Nigerian contraction and the cultural entrapment as well. Also, Mokiawa Oyeron Keolani, thank you so much for joining us. And also, Gramali Ajayi once again. Eli Izuchuku, wow, there's something about our origins. Our elders, both Yoruba and Igbo, are here to tell us the younger generations, and we must ask them questions. We've taken out the G. Akimbo. There's a bastard Yoruba man that said, "Be a fraud." I do not love such comments. There's nothing like be a fraud. It's like saying Yoruba fraud, like those of us that are asking for Yoruba nation. You might not like them. They don't like you as well. Let everybody go their separate ways. So we took him out of the platform. I don't know who he is. I don't know whether he's a regular. But if they're regulars, they understand where I stand. I am not the spokespeople or the spokesman rather for the Yoruba, for the Biafra nation. But we're here talking about them because they're asking for self-determination. And not all of them. Millions of them will rather want Peter Obi to be the president as against Tinubu. Tinubu is the president. If you don't like it, go and jump in the river. Gold and Diamond, thank you so much for joining us as well. Mr. Oyewale, it could be fronting for the Adeleke family. Another good point there. Kingsley Obodo, thank you so much for joining us. Yawa Elizabeth Adesonya, we appreciate you. Arole Odudua, my brother, thank you so much. The 60 Angels, and those of you that will be watching this tomorrow, Yeti Abraham Eshegoni, what can be done about the Osogbo trademark thing? I believe whatever now that the pressure is out there in the public domain, we will look forward to the statement from the governor, and I'm expecting an update from the palace. The palace will be updating me tomorrow because communication between me and the palace is already ongoing, but I will not tell you what and what until they come back to me. Hear me say, they will never allow Yoruba in Igbo land to do that. Never, definitely. Not even close to that. Yawa Grace Elushoton, happy birthday to Ashati She. Rufo Joe, thank you so much. And I think that's on that end. Waris Jinado, thank you. Let me quickly go and see those on the Facebook. I don't know, I can't see any of you on the Twitter, but about 136. The number is so high tonight. Iyawa Yabo Olubumi say, all this is a joke. What an insult to the Yoruba people. Sikiru Adewale says, just imagine my tribe, art, and culture, even my Yoruba land and language, quietly different to the Igbos and other tribes in the zoo country. Lions and dogs can't live together. It can't work. Let us continue to say to our people, the same way that we were joining the amalgamation, we might be sold out. Eshibabami Theophilus Shoguye, I keep seeing your very big donation, and every time I say I was going to appreciate you, for whatever reason, I see you on the Arole, you're doing the same thing. We love you. You've set up a direct debit with me, but I've never, come out to appreciate you. Thank you so much for every one of you that doesn't want Koikimedia to go down, because we need the funding to be able to operate. No media around the world without the funding can operate. With your support, we can go on an high sky without any interruption. Moki Babami Jamio Ali, if I haven't mentioned your name, don't be upset. Mr. Oladele Timi Eshegoni, I love your glasses. On Instagram, we appreciate every single one of you. If you're new to this platform, remember that I do not have a particular time that I come out. I can just come out at any time. But about in follower, you will get the notification. But Mr. Ben, don't respond to idiot again, brother. They just come in and try to, especially when the program is flowing and you see a comment to say be a fraud. What do I mean by that? We're not here to agree with them, but let everybody go their separate ways. Mokiawi, Tony, Ton Ade Victoria, on the Equator, sir. Thank you so much. We appreciate Isaac Olaide. My brother Babami Shitu Omaumi, we're not here to attack Muslims, neither am I here to attack Christian. I'm not here to attack the Igbos or the Hausas. I just want us to go our separate ways. Olanikpekun, wealthy plenty. Nigerians are going through a tough time already, and it is not right for the country to be used as another leverage, especially with our culture. So, Olu Moses, thank you so much. Adewale Adeyemi, I know the pains that every one of you are going through. We live here, it's not easy as well. But at the end of the day, we wish that things could be much better, but it cannot be better in Nigeria. Eshegoni, Babami Theophilos, and you're doing very well. We appreciate you. I see you all the time on our Arole. Mr. Fatai Motajo, from Canada to Australia to Qatar to Kuwait. Yawa Taiwo Kike, she should be sleeping. They're about 3 hours ahead of us. They're still awake, trying to know what is going on, as well as many people. Alan Conde, all the way from China, a very strong, representative of us there. Our leaders and elders, politicians and kings are just foolish, seeking us, the Yoruba tribes, as nothing and slaves. That's why they don't care about what is happening in Yoruba land, and we don't care about our land. We must stand to face them because we have been in the M1 since all this evil mindset leader. If you don't know the meaning of the M1 that we say here, I will just leave it for now. M1 will be the final route out of the Yoruba, out of the country called Nigeria. Some Yoruba kids have been violent on us since the day to choose to sell us to slavery around the world. Go to Libya, how they're selling themselves. Eshegoni Yami Yabo Olubumi. Imagine what is happening in Yoruba land. Can any Yoruba person try it outside Yoruba land? They're not born you, we're going to do all that thing. How do you think they will give a culture of theirs in the Igbo to us, to manage? They won't. So how we were able to be deceived, and this went from us, from them to us, is something that we should be very, very concerned. Adesa Ogoni, can you work with Adeika grandson? Well, Adeika grandson, like I always say, we don't have any problem with each other. I'm waiting for Adeika grandson to come back again and tell us what he thinks about Tinubu right now. Tinubu has run 1 year. Adeika grandson wanted Tinubu to be the president. I did not want Tinubu to be the president. I would rather want Tinubu to come and operate behind the scene, not even to take charge of Yoruba nation in terms of working together. But he said he doesn't want that. He wanted Nigeria. The question now is, what is Adeyinka grandson going to do with the YFF? He even said he will return back to Nigeria and tell Tinubu the way to break away from Nigeria. But right now, I'm not hearing too much from Adeyinka grandson. All I'm saying is that it's gone quiet. Maybe they're waiting and watching. So Adeyinka grandson wants to go to Nigeria to do politics. Well, I don't even think it's about politics, but he says he will tell Tinubu how to break Nigeria. But like I said, majority of the Yoruba that are not endorsing and supporting us today is because they're still in love with Tinubu. But Tinubu himself is trapped between the Northern Caliphate, because the Northern Caliphate are already squeezing his balls. So we don't have any problem. Like I always say, we can all disagree as Yoruba people, but in the near future, we will resolve all our problems. But for now, the route to we want is self-determination. There's nothing to mix about it. Let's hope Adeyinka grandson will hammer more for Tinubu to break up Nigeria. If he doesn't, then that means we're all still in danger. Muki Babami, Ibrahim Ola, James Olajide Muki, and I think that's about it tonight. Mr. Augustine Ademola. And like I said, we don't want this program to go beyond the 2 hours air mark. It's not like, we have been time or somewhere, but it's already late. And I can just, even if I don't go to bed, relax and do some other things. So Muki Bubuale can see, we will get to where we are going. It will be a lot of work. Education is important. That means we're heading out to the street, not to destroy, but to ask for our right. But for now, whatever it is, I think there's one more comment coming through. Let me read that before we go. So Mokibu Boalen can see, for you that are new to the platform, like I said, it is just a matter of time. Waris Jinadu Babawani, that was how they hijacked the Yoruba Cultural Festac 77. And I think Obasanjo was the one involved in that nonsense, the Festac 77, how they were able to steal some of our artifacts and take it away and all that. So now they're bringing some of them back from Germany, from America. The Fulani want to grab our land. The more reason Yoruba should have their own nation. Not just Fulani. If the Igbos have the opportunity, they'll take our land. There's nothing to hide about that. If we have opportunity, we take their land as well. But for us to have boundary that will not be disputed, let us go our separate ways. And then we can then secure our boundaries. Look, the American election as it's coming is focused on immigration, is focused on boundary. Donald Trump wants to lock more because he believes that the Democrat opens up. The same thing with the conservative. They wanted to lock more while they think that Labour will open up more. So the most important thing is if you lose your boundary, you don't have a country. So the influx of the Igbos is a problem, but maybe it's because they are not having enough in their own end. But if we have a country, we can control who comes in and who doesn't come in. UK doesn't allow anybody to come in. I would love many of you with just one letter, Koikimedia, Baga, Oya, Elos Embassy. But do we really need that if the country was strong? With our passport, or we should have just buy a ticket and come and go back. But the reason that they know that you are likely not to come back is because Nigeria is on fire in terms of problems upon problems. In the 80s, my mom was arriving here, getting a visa at the point of entry. What changed? Is because the foundation of Nigeria was never going to favor every one of us in the long run. So for those of you that always say the leadership problem is far beyond leadership problem, it is an identity problem. It is a cultural problem, and part of that culture is Osogbo that has now been given to an Igbo consultant to manage trademark, copyright. That is so disrespectful. So, and on that note, Yoruba Nation are going back. Good evening, good morning, good night. OLAYOMI KOIKI. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, forílẹ̀ ìbí wa, kàgbéga, kàgbéga, kàgbéga falẹ̀rí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bàtí bẹ́rù làbọ̀ mọ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká jọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan wa tòmìnira, ní kẹjẹ́ ká máa lépa. Ìtẹ̀síwájú fọ̀pọ̀ ire àtohun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. If you love this outfit, you can check them out on the Omitaf Culture on Instagram. You know I had the blue one. I forgot that I had 3. Metal of Financial see me, and they're not expensive. You can always tell them to make one for you as well. So you can see it. And it's sleeveless as you can see. So I want to learn itimowani ano, itimowani ijeta, So let's support a sister, especially the diaspora, and I can assure you, you will be surprised with what will come out of it. I don't advertise anything, but this has been, someone that designed me prior before Yoruba Nation, and I can guarantee that you will not be disappointed. Especially Yawa, the Bafia show, reach out Simon. But just make sure that if she can measure you, it will be very good. But the body measurements in you, there's no problem. In America, Canada, she sent something to as far as Australia, and they were pleased with it. I can assure you that. To my beautiful mother and to my wives and my children, we look forward to the holiday. There will be more noise in my program. The children are coming back on holiday this week. So let's look forward to that. But for now, shout out to everyone. Odaro, Orayolamasun, Kashifono.